All right. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. So, what's the topic of discussion today? Okay. A couple of days ago, I was watching a video, about 2 days ago. I think this was just very recent. The Chinese People's Liberation Army slash Navy, the PLAN, launched their first stealth fighter off the deck of their newest aircraft carrier, the Fujian. What makes this significant is, yes, we have an outstanding advantage on three categories from our Navy. We have 11 aircraft carriers. Chinese have three. We do have a fleet of ballistic missile submarines, which I think the Chinese only have two. Uh, and we have a flotilla of SSNs, or nuclear attack submarines, which the Chinese still hasn't beaten us yet to the punch when it comes to quantitative advantages. But let's go back to that video about that Chinese aircraft carrier that has a fully functional uh, 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 launching and recovery system, which we all do have on our 11 aircraft carriers. Now, I'm not an aircraft carrier guy. I'm a tin can sailor, right? So my knowledge on sailing on aircraft carriers is very minimal, aside from what I've read and what I've seen. Okay, our advantages are those pretty much, but it's quite alarming that seeing that video of a capability that we thought that the Chinese does not have. Now they have two aircraft carriers. Those are the old Soviet style angled flight deck, but with a ski jump. Okay, which provides a lot of which has a lot of limitations as compared to our deck aircraft carriers, angled flight deck aircraft carriers, which are nuclear powered to begin with. Okay, but what is astounding is that what's alarming to me is that the Chinese has now fielded, and they can continue to build aircraft carriers, which will nullify our advantage. Now, our sailors, one other thing that happened yesterday after watching that video was that I saw another video, which was a podcast of a group of three individuals. Two of them were former officers, I think, because they flew aircraft, F-18s, on aircraft carrier, and one was an enlisted guy. I'm going to send you guys the description and the link. I'll send you guys the link on the description on this video that I'm creating. And initially, they were mocking the sailors, the reporters, and the capability of that carrier on the first 5 minutes. I think it was an 8 to 12 minute video, if I'm not mistaken. And what was really what was kind of worrying was that they were not taking those carriers seriously in its capability until the last minute, when they had their misgivings. Well, we should be alarmed, people, especially our sailors, especially our United States Navy, because now we have so many advantages, but we cannot lay down, we just cannot berate the Chinese for trying. We just cannot let these advantages go down the drain. We just cannot wait for systems to come up and then worry about it later. This isn't World War II. This isn't the time when we had a huge industrial advantage over the opposition and our future enemies, wherein we can just build ships every 3 months, have 50 different shipyards to be able and capable of building them while the enemy is getting pounded. No, we have to fight now with what we have. Now, you got to fill me in here, right? Well, Marcus, you're wrong because I've had, and I don't want to be biased, and I'm trying to even out the landscape here by providing these inputs, by providing these facts. They're out there. These Chinese aircraft carrier, whether they're they're going to take a few years for them to be war capable, and in being an asset to their doctrine. We've been sailing aircraft carriers since the late 1930s, close to about 9 decades now, and we do have a lot of experience. But you have to understand, those experiences does not become an advantage anymore when you don't have the quantitative advantage, when you do not have something that you could fight with. One $13 billion carrier, I think, is insufficient when you have thousands of intermediate range ballistic missiles targeting you. Okay? All they have to do is find you. Of course, the Western Pacific is a pretty vast ocean, but we know that A2D2 systems are now capable of harassing any ships that falls into the realm of their ranges. Okay? They find us, they could just shoot us down. Do we have enough anti-ballistic missile systems or launchers or missiles to take away what they can shoot at us? I already did the math. All they need is 550 plus 1. Plus 1. All right? Intermediate range ballistic missiles to hit one aircraft carrier, goes plus or minus a few. You guys can ask me what I meant by that. I made a video of that years ago. Now here we are. Our advantage is dwindling. Okay? Our advantage in certain aspects of naval aviation and naval warfare is slowly being eaten away by the Chinese. And guess what? We don't have the capability anymore to match them when it comes to shipbuilding. We don't have the money to provide ourselves to make sure that we could build our ships or our systems or our offensive platforms to begin with. What we have now is what we're going to fight with. Every base we have is being targeted. We are way behind on certain categories. Drone warfare. All those systems that are flying by Air Force bases in the continental United States, I don't know where they're coming from, but it's not nice. It's not good. It's not good news for us, is it? Okay, we are way behind intermediate range ballistic missiles. The only system we have right now are nothing new. They are basically SM6s and Tomahawks put into metal canisters that we only have 1 or 2 or 3 out of JBLM down by Tacoma, which they shipped to the Philippines last year, which, hey, you know what? We got something, but it still ain't close to the thousands that the Chinese have, which are already pre-targeted packages that are about to be sent out when that trigger gets pulled, when they invade Taiwan. Now, call me scared? Hell yeah, man. 5,500 sailors on one carrier. 2 of them be able to surge in the Western Pacific anytime we have a conflict. 1 always deployed and the other one forward deployed in Japan. And another one capable of moving out from Hawaii or San Diego, I mean. Okay? So that brings out 3 plus 2 on the other side of the Atlantic. But before they cross back on the other side, that's going to take at least 3 weeks. Maybe not enough time to decide the war. And casualties already brimming up. But I'm just alarmed. Okay? Because we should not be panicking, I know, but we should just not take this out of consideration that we are now at the crosshairs of the Chinese when it comes to our hulls, including aircraft carriers. So, to our men and women out there, I'm just worried. I'm very worried. Somebody tell me I'm wrong, but prove to me I'm wrong. Okay? How do we defend these things? How could we attack their carriers? Okay? We don't have enough ships. We don't have enough aircraft. And we are lagging behind on a lot of categories. Intermediate range ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, drone warfare. Amount of hulls, Hulls, that they could send out there while we're deployed. We don't have enough. Okay? So to our men and women out there that are deployed, come on home. We love you all. You guys take care out there. God bless. It's been a pleasure, a privilege, and an honor to observe. Post.